this is an interesting one. I know I've not been on here for a while, so if you're new to my channel, you're welcome. And to my returning followers, thank you ever so much. As you guys may know, if you've been following me for a while, I'm a student, so that means sometimes or oftentimes I cannot be online. So the reason why I'm doing this video today actually is worth talking about. What is it about African men in diaspora in a relationship with another African sister? I happened to have a conversation yesterday where, actually it wasn't a conversation that I started by myself. It was, I went to an African shop near me to buy something, and the conversation of the day whilst I was there was the fact that African men in diaspora can be vicious, vile, and disgusting in a relationship. Hear me out, let me explain, because I know a lot of them will come here and BS us, okay? And first of all, let me say, Black sisters, I salute you. I see you. And I feel sorry for your pain. And from one Black sister to another Black sister, honestly, you guys take on a lot. And, there was a young woman on Facebook the other day. I think this was like 3 months ago or more that I came across a video of a young woman saying she would rather suffer in the hands of a white man than suffer in the hands of a Black brother because, they are ungrateful, and it don't matter what the kind of atmosphere or environment you create for them, regardless of how much you make it safe, how much you invest in them, the spirit of their ancestors will always allow them to fuck things up, because they're self-destructive. At the time, I thought it's just one of the BS, it's just one of the BS contents that people, that African or Black sisters put online. And as a Black sister myself, that I've dated, few African brothers from from Africa to, that live in diaspora, I can tell you it's not an easy thing loving them. That is, this I might have to do in, multiple parts depending on the, how you guys accept this one, One of the things that was said yesterday is the fact that a lot of them are self-destructive. It don't matter how safe you make the environment for them to be themselves. It don't matter how much you nurture and love them. A lot of them, I'm not saying all of them. So before you come here and tell me, a lot of them, I'm not saying all of them, but where majority is carrying the vote, we're talking about the 90%, let's say, or even more. We're not talking about the 1%. We're not talking about the 2%. We're talking about the majority. We're not talking about the few. So, and here's the case. Why is it that when they date other Black sisters, the condemnation is next level? The bullshit is next level, right? Let me take one of the instances from the conversation yesterday of this Black sister dating, actually she wasn't dating, this is her husband of many years, but since they came to this country, is being, the trauma is just endless. If you were back home in motherland, let's say Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Malawi, Zimbabwe, wherever it is in motherland African territory, and you're doing bullshit and you're treating your women like second-class citizens, that is okay, because your culture and your environment makes you some kind of a god, and a lot of these women are not, they're not ignorant, they're just, the society do not bless them, in so many ways that makes you superior or somewhat superior over these women. And you subject these women to bullshit. Your family will traumatize them. You will come home and traumatize them. A lot of you are abusive. You know, you are mentally abusive, you're physically abusive, you're psychologically abusive, you're spiritually abusive. Think of all form of abuse. Most of you, majority of you are abusive to the next level. So call it whatever you want. Let's call it spade a spade. Majority of you are not just self-destructive, you are manipulative, you're liars, and you're the god of fornicator. Like, you can sleep with a tree, you know. And when you're dating, it's so sad that we as black sisters, we give you whatever it is. We give, and we give, and we keep giving until there's nothing more to give. And at the end of the day, those things that you refuse to do for us, that you are asking the black sisters to do for you, at the end of the day, you don't ask a white woman to do it. As a matter of fact, one of the ladies said something yesterday. It don't matter how you treat them as a king or like a king, they would rather go be a slave to a white woman. That was the icing on the cake for me. That was next level. Like, that was heavy. I couldn't digest it. I thought about it all through the night. It rang in my head, and I'm like, oh, that was spicy. That was heavy. You know, when Dr. Umar said, you know, successful black men would rather date. Let's not sugarcoat it. Would rather date the last white woman that has nothing. I mean, every woman is priceless and every woman is special in their own little way. But, you know, in the society we live in today, where there's no more value, there's women oftentimes have nothing to offer apart from being a liability to most men, most successful men. But a black successful man would rather take the last, no offense, you know, valueless white woman as a wife and be a slave for her and give this woman everything than take up another black successful woman who has value, who will nurture, who will love, who will give, who will you know, make him and keep building him. But he would rather be a slave to a white woman. And that is something we need to look into. Is funny, you know. It don't matter how much a black sister put you guys on the bed, you will always roll over, you will always fall. And you know, in due course, when karma catches up to you guys are always like, yeah, somebody cursed you, but you forget the curses you lay or put on yourselves. So I think, you know, let's talk about that. We need to start, you know, I don't see enough of such conversations online. You know, the time a lot of black sisters spend suffering in silence, you know, let's have this conversation from one black sister to another black sister. Honestly, I give it to you guys. You guys, you know, this is why I said this is gonna be in parts. Is because it's gonna be one of the conversations we need to have, and yeah, this is a sad one, you know. The spirit of your ancestors that came with you from motherland, that spirit of destruction, that spirit of dysfunctionality that you brought from motherland, that you just cannot let go. And when those women say they've had enough, you still come back to condemn them. People around you, your friends and family, still condemn them. The ones that have to call the police because you're physically battering her, that had to call the police, is a bad woman because she called the police. Can you guys make it make sense? Can we talk about this? Because this, you know, this is worth talking about. I hope this finds you well, and I will see you guys in my next one. You guys take